What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Untitled Gaming Channel. I'm AJ Gels. Guys, I'm going to break from my usual format this week. I'm not going to just do one of these episodes. I'm going to probably do two or three, just seeing that there was so much news over the week. This video, this is going to pretty much kind of wrap up everything that happened at E3 that wasn't at the press conferences. So, I mean, that's a lot of details. A lot of news. I think I had like 57 some stories on IGN saved. I also had like a couple from Polygon, a couple from a couple sites. So, you know, like I have a lot of news to cover. So I think, and I'm just thinking, there's no way I'm going to have all of this done by noon. So I thought, you know what, I'll release a video probably a little bit before noon, and then throughout the day kind of drop little smaller videos on more of the news that happened at E3. So that's kind of the plan for this week's episode. Next week we'll be back to the one show on Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Frankly, I'm not sure how much news is going to be on that one, just because, you know, we're post E3, and the week after E3 is usually pretty dead. But I am very excited. A lot of this news really excites me, reading some of these details. I am super excited, really for the next year, because the second half of this year is looking really great for Microsoft. Sony looks really strong at the beginning of next year. So I am super excited to see what's going to happen in the gaming community and the gaming world in this coming, year. So I guess July to July. But I was, I'm sorry. But before I hop into the news, like I said, you can find this show next week will be in the usual format. We'll go live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check out my Let's Plays. I do a bunch of those. I've been taking kind of a small break over the past couple days. I've been binging The Witcher 3. And it just with all the press conference videos and whatnot, I've been wiped and just been like, I don't know, like mentally fatigued, and just like couldn't get myself to record. So I will pick up back with that tomorrow, Saturday the 18th. So just to look at what's going on. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, my website down in the description below. Go check those out. I'm sorry. Leave me a comment, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You want to help support the channel. Get your friends to come over here, check it out. In the comments, always feel free to talk to me about anything that you want. I love having discussions with you guys. I've done it a few times. I usually reply to comments. As soon as as soon as I see them, I usually reply to comments. If all people keep saying, hey, nice video, and there's like 4 or 5 of them, I'll kind of respond to one of them and just know it means to everyone. So, don't want to leave anybody out. But, if you actually come to me with, like talking to me and you give me like something a little more detailed, then hey, good job. I'm always happy to talk with you guys. I love it. It's so much fun. And it's something I really hope to do, even when this channel, or hopefully when this channel becomes more popular. Again, I say hopefully because I don't know if that's going to happen. Hopefully it will. But either way, here we go, into the news. Titanfall 2, the official release date set for this October the 28th. Just kind of, again, I still don't have a whole lot of details on the main story or its single-player campaign. Other than the fact that we will be playing, I finally have the main character's name, will be Jack Cooper, an infantryman, and his giant and his Titan. I think it's sentient, or maybe sentient isn't the right word, but it apparently can think and whatnot. I don't know. It looks really interesting because it looks like there's actually like this like. And I understand the game's supposed to go into this depth between the bond of the pilot and the robot, but I think this one's. I think maybe this robot's a little special because it seems like there's like a. I'm not gonna say there's like a romantic love there because that would be weird, but no, I think there is this like kind of this really deep bond of friendship between these two. I don't know. I'm very interested. To play Titanfall 2. I didn't play Titanfall 1, so I'm really excited about this, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this main story over at Respawn. Article by Andrew Goldfarb of IGN. Sorry, Titanfall 2's map packs and game mode DLC. So all kind of like post-release, content. Let's see here. Will be free according to David Whiteman, head of development at Respawn Entertainment. They're kind of saying that this is kind of to avoid kind of like a pay-to-win, or there's not going to be pay-to-win DLC, so, it's probably won't get, you can't, buy special guns through DLC, this, that, and the other thing. I'm kind of glad that they're opening up the map packs and, like the modes, for free. It just, cause to me, that's always kind of cheap when people, it feels kind of cheap when, companies are trying to scrounge out that extra little bit with DLC. I'm really glad that they're doing that. Article by Matt Porter of IGN. The final Titanfall news I have comes from Matt Porter, also of IGN. Apparently, there have been, rumors and people talking, but currently there are no plans at Respawn Entertainment to bring Titanfall 1 to the PS4. So if you were getting your hopes up on that, not going to happen. Or supposedly at the moment will not happen. Moving on, Charlie Hall of Polygon is where I got this next little bit for him, and it kind of answered a question that I was having after the Ubisoft conference about Ghost Recon Wildlands. Apparently, the game will feature drop-in, drop-out co-op multiplayer. Basically, what that means is, I'm trying to think the best way to describe this. Basically, I'm probably going to play the game solo. I'm a solo gamer. It's how I like to play. But that's how I like to play this game. But the way that works is I will play by myself with the other three characters being AI. The other option is while I'm playing, let me start over here. Okay, say I'm playing by myself. Me and there's the three AI characters. Okay, somebody wants to join my game, boom, we link worlds, they jump in, they're playing this character, so now it's us two and two AI characters. Or, and you can have up to, there's 4 people, so you have up to 4 people playing at once. That's kind of how it is, you can go in, then you drop out, then it's the AI character again. But basically the way this is going to work is, and this is the I guess, really interesting part of this, is that the fact that there's, all progress while you're playing together is saved. So if say you're playing with me, and we go and complete something, it counts as completed for both of us, not just me. It's not like you're joining my game. Our games are now linked, if that makes sense. If I know I'm describing this in such an ass backwards way, basically the goal is there's not going to be any penalty for either playing by yourself or playing with other people. So all progress, no matter whatever progress you make while playing together, will be saved in your own game. And again, I think this is a very good way to kind of do this kind of co-op, just so you don't have to kind of like take time out of your day and just to actually like plan to play with other people. I don't know. I think this is a lot smarter. I think this is a lot more casual and really, I think kind of sets to what this game is supposed to be, which is supposed to be a giant, massive, open military shooter. So I'm very excited to see what Ghost Recon Wildlands is going to have to offer. I believe March of next year. That time cannot get here fast enough. I cannot wait. Speaking of games I can't wait for, Mass Effect Andromeda. I got a couple stories for this. This first one from Miranda Sanchez of IGN. Apparently, the Mass Effect 3 ending will not affect Mass Effect Andromeda. Well, this is actually very good, news for everyone, because first off, that game, the Mass Effect 3's ending was widely hated, and even the people who didn't join in the campaign to change it still hated it. I didn't join in the campaign to change the ending. I just thought it wasn't a good ending. Although I did like how it kind of pulled out, it's just because no matter what you chose, the ending was kind of the same. Spoilers for Mass Effect 3. But then the very very end, it was like this like weird. It's like this old man like telling a story to a kid. Like kind of like panning out. The kid's looking up at the old guy and says, "Please tell me another story about the shepherd." And then he's like, "Oh well, there," kind of drifts off into another story, which kind of led me to think that maybe Shepherd's tales aren't done, but apparently they are. And also, I really liked how that voice, I believe, was Buzz Aldrin. That's kind of fun for me. But no, I mean, I think. Sorry, thirsty. No, I think it's great that that Mass Effect 3's ending will not affect Andromeda. This way, people can kind of jump into the franchise with Andromeda. It's a nice jumping on, fresh start kind of point. I'm assuming they're going to talk about there's probably going to be references to the original trilogy, but not necessarily a direct relation. Although the article was kind of hinting at, you can kind of guess the timeline, because again, depending on your decisions in 3, really because the universe got the not universe, the galaxy, there we go, the galaxy that you're in, it gets really messed up, I guess, either way that you decide in 3. I don't even fully remember or comprehend. I still don't fully remember what 3's ending was. It's been so long since I played the ending of that game. But basically, so I'm assuming their trip to Andromeda took place before, just like probably around the time either 3 started or the middle of 3. And this is, I'm guessing, taking place way after. Yeah, like I said, that article by Ryan Sanchez, IGN, and kind of picking up with what I was saying, about how this game, I'm assuming, takes place after, like they're traveling light years away. It kind of starts with kind of like people, I'm trying to think, again, I'm describing a lot of this in ass backwards ways. I've seen, if this was in a trailer, it shows, kind of like the main character kind of like waking up out of kind of like cryo sleep, kind of looking around, he's like, we made it. It's you got a nice look. Actually, like the female character, which I mean, I don't care. I just find it interesting that they lead with the female character, seeing that. Well, I guess it makes sense because they've always led with the male character in the past. So, I guess it makes sense. Either way, it has also come out that the main character's name for Mass Effect Andromeda will be Ryder, Ryder. So, I mean, no matter, again, the first name is interchangeable with whatever you want. It's just like the original trilogy, you could either be, I believe the given first name for both of them were John or Jane, and then Shepard was always the last name. So I'm assuming it's going to be either John or Jane Ryder. I'm assuming. I could be totally wrong, but I'm assuming everybody will just call him Ryder. Or them Ryder, not him. You know what I mean. Article by Seth G. Macy of IGN. Now this next one, also, these next two are by Miranda Sanchez, also by, like I said, IGN. This one really kind of interests me because I guess it kind of gives a little kind of dive, or these next two articles kind of delve into kind of the narrative that Andromeda is going to be telling. Apparently, Andromeda will have a darker start, according to BioWare creative director Mac Walters. The kind of this darker start. I'm trying to think like the best way. Like is they're kind of putting it that the character is basically cut off from the world they knew. Like they're light years away, and everything that they're in is unknown territory. I believe something that was shown in some it talked about in one of the press conferences, like the idea that you are the alien. Like you have no home planet. You are the alien. Is probably going to be a very interesting like plot device and dynamic. They were also talking about how basically Ryder will not start the game off as a hero. Kind of, if you remember what Shepard, pretty much no matter what history you chose with him or her. I'm sorry, I usually play as a dude. That look was because I'm a dude, not me. Screw it, I'm too tired to defend this. But no, you know, you could choose your past history, but pretty much no matter what you chose, you were kind of a war hero before the events of Mass Effect 1. Andromeda, you're basically I'm trying to think, like, you're a no-name explorer. Well, I mean, you have a name, but you know what I mean. Nobody knows you. You're not special. You're not anything. You are your character. You know, you are beginning it as in, you know, you're not special. I know that's a really sad way of putting it. But basically this game is going to follow, as again, they put it, more of a traditional hero's journey, and will be telling a more intimate story, which I think is great because I don't know, because I love these kind of BioWare RPGs because I love diving in and figuring out these characters and who they are, which is why I think this next article I really like. It's the game, the Mass Effect Andromeda will attempt to have more organic relationships in it, because, you know, like all BioWare games, you can romance your companions. Well, this is, I think they put it, you know, at least in the previous Mass Effect games, and if I might say, I believe most of the Dragon Age games too. And they have this sort of formulaic approach that, you know, it's about gaining, you know, just saying the right stuff, and I mean, yeah, it's kind of like what a relationship is, but no, I mean, because it's something quantifiable in these games, you know, like you're seeing these points and these certain, you know, you do certain actions at certain times will increase favor with that character until, you know, that's the idea. Well, for this one, they're saying they're trying to be more organic with how these characters are going to develop and kind of relate to each other, which I think is great because, again, I really want to dive into these characters as people. And I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm so excited. I really hope that this game comes out early next year. Because, speaking of which, the next article by Andrew Goldfarb, IGN, says he puts, you know, that the fact that the release date for Andromeda has been pushed from late 2016 to early or Q1 next year. So I'm hoping maybe a February release. I don't know. I'm actually gonna guess March, but I'm hoping February. So I'm very excited for this, and more info on Mass Effect Andromeda will be available in the fall. Believe me, I will be reporting that right here on this channel. Please stay tuned for that later. Moving on to another one of my favorite developers, Telltale. You know, a lot of people want to bag on Telltale, you know, but I really love the I'm trying to think exactly like how to narrative adventure games, I guess. There's a I'm trying to remember what the genre of Life is Strange was, because it's the same kind of idea. But, you know, I really like those games. You know, I loved Wolf Among Us. I really liked Walking Dead. Holy crap. I know it's not a Telltale game. It was done by Square Enix. And Don't Nod. But I really like Life is Strange. I haven't seen Tales from the Borderlands, but I've heard it's really good. You know, just all these Telltale series, you know, like I love their approach. The Game of Thrones one was also pretty good, from what I hear and what I've seen. I've seen maybe the first episode. And I'm very excited for this game. You know, mostly because I loved Clementine in season 2. In season 1, I wasn't a huge fan of her. Maybe it's just because she's just this little kid and didn't do anything. In 2, she really becomes kind of more of a person, and the cool thing was, I think she was given much darker choices than Lee was in the first one. It really made you think, because you're like, man, this is like maybe a 13-year-old girl going through this shit, and like, man, that's like really fucked up. Like, she's like deciding whether or not to leave somebody, you know, like with their foot in a bear trap. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played season 2, but I mean, they're you know, like, leave these people, you know, or, you know, just shoot them in the face, or this or that. There's all this really messed up stuff, and really bad decisions, and probably some, in my opinion, I think really tough decisions, with Walking Dead season 2. So I don't know. I cannot wait for Walking Dead Season 3, kind of now into the actual news I have for Walking Dead Season 3. I'm sorry, I rambled there. Apparently, Clementine will not be our only playable character in Walking Dead Season 3. Apparently, new videos have kind of surfaced, new trailers. A character called Javier will be available also to play. I don't know if that's like you choose at the beginning, one or the other, or they kind of switch back and forth, or what's going on with that. But Javier has never been in the comics or the game, and is apparently central to the happenings of the game and Season 3's plot. Article by Jonathan Dornbush of IGN. I'm very excited, cannot wait for Season 3. I believe later this year. I believe, yeah, in the fall. And now, a game that I'm kind of weary on, but I'm really gonna hope I'm gonna trust Telltale here, because this is another new series, and I believe everybody knows what I'm gonna talk about. It's Telltale's Batman. I'm very interested in this game. From what I'm seeing, it's going to be more of an origin story. They're not going to, it's going to be early Bruce Wayne, not, and it's really going to delve into the psyche, the psychological aspects of Batman and Bruce Wayne, as opposed to the more action-packed what the Rocksteady games were. So I'm very, very excited for that. And the actual information I have for you right now, some of the cast has been kind of revealed, and I'm going to kind of go down the list of who I know is playing who. Leading off, the guy who's in pretty much everything, Troy Baker as Bruce Wayne. I think the last thing that you probably would have heard Troy Baker in was he played Samuel Drake, or Sam Drake. I think it was Samuel. Either way, he played Sam Drake in Uncharted 4. Again, he's done a lot of voice work, so I think that was the last thing he did. Next up, and like I said, Troy Baker will be Bruce Wayne / Batman. Laura Bailey will be voicing Selena Kyle / Catwoman. She was Laura Bailey voiced Fiona from Tales of the Borderlands, but I guess more recently Nadine Ross of Uncharted 4. Also will be voicing Kate in the new Gears of War game coming up also this October. Travis Willingham will voice Harvey Dent. He was the Gadgetron vendor from the recent Ratchet and Clank game. He was Scrabble Scrotus from, I love saying that, from the Mad Max game that came out last year. And I didn't know that he voiced Reggie Rowe from Infamous Second Son, Reggie Rowe being the brother of Delsin. If you haven't played Infamous Second Son, go play it. It was a fantastic game. And has some really, really sad moments. Again, go play it. It's fantastic. Erin Yvette will be voicing Vicky Vale. Her voice is probably most known from Oxenfree. And Reitel, I believe Enreitel, will be voicing Alfred. He will be. He was, I think, most known for his words are hard. His work as the narrator for Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. I think Alfred is probably one of the most important characters in Batman to me, because I always kind of see him, he's kind of like that emotional, like, and psychological rock for Batman. And, he's usually a character that has some interesting wit, but also some weird. He's such an interesting character. It just has this courage and emotional fortitude, but also has this just snappy wit that, even though he's Bruce Wayne's butler, he's still willing to give him the business. That's why I really love Alfred. So I really hope Reitel will bring bring Alfred to life, and will really give the character something, because Alfred always needs a little something. Moving on, Murphy Guider will be voicing Lieutenant James Gordon. He was Aquila from Red Dead Redemption, the man from Blackwater. Aquila. I'm not 100% sure on that pronunciation. I don't know this. I don't know this voice actor. But I really hope, again, another character that I think is very important to the Batman franchise is James Gordon. Again, I really love the idealist cop who kind of slowly gets rid of his ideals and backs up Batman. And maybe not. I don't know. He's a very interesting character, and like I said, I think obvious evidence for this is going to be early on in the Batman lore, is because he's lieutenant, not commissioner. So, Let's see here. And the final voice I have is Richard McGonigal as Carmine Falcone. Now, Rich McGonigal is probably most known for probably my favorite character in the Uncharted franchise, Mr. Victor Goddamn Sullivan. I love Sully. He's probably one of my favorite characters, and knowing the lore of Carmine Falcone, I really think he could do the same voice. I'm very excited for that. I think that is going to be so cool. I cannot wait to see him as kind of more of a serious villain and a mob boss, not the goofy. I don't want to say sidekick because I never saw Sully as a sidekick, but the kind of goofy companion. I cannot wait to see him play Falcone. Article by Marty Sleeve of IGN. Apparently, due to a pricing error on the Xbox Store, some people were able to download Fallout 4, the season pass for Fallout 4, and also the expansions for free. Currently, Microsoft has caught the error, and it's been fixed. The pricing is now correct, and those who downloaded it for free, those downloads will now no longer work. Sorry. Microsoft is attempting to make up for the inconvenience of this by depositing $10 into their Microsoft account by the end of June. Article by Michael McWhirter of Polygon. Yeah, I don't know. I think you could have gone for more than $10, but whatever. I don't know. Although I guess, they just downloaded it for free and now you can't play it because, come on, you got it for free and it was an error. I don't know. I don't think they needed to give the $10. That's good. But now more Fallout 4 news though, and I'm really interested in this one because Todd Howard, according to Todd Howard, that Fallout 4's dialogue system didn't work out too well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to process this because I'm sitting here going, he's right. And basically saying, basically talking about how like their hope was to create more of an interactive dialogue. Yeah, it felt very robotic. I was really glad with the voice protagonist, but again, I think it again. I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible. I mean, I don't know. I mean, in a game, I guess that almost every character has like 4 options to say something to. I'm like, and again, I was going to bring up The Witcher, but I'm like, no, but The Witcher, you sometimes only have like 1 option. So I don't really know a way to fix that, but I really hope, as Todd Howard said, that they are currently trying to fix upon that, fix that so that, they build off what they set up with Fallout 4. I can't wait to see what they do with that, especially in this next game. Todd Howard also confirmed that Elder Scrolls 6 is in development, but is, and I quote, a very long way off. Article by Joe Screbbles at IGN. Oh, and the one about the dialogue system was by Nicole Carpenter, also of IGN. But no, I'm very excited for that too. I love Elder Scrolls. I go back and forth between them because sometimes I play Elder Scrolls and I'm really enjoying it, and I love the fantasy aspects, and then I jump over to Fallout 4 or Fallout. Now I'm in that post-apocalyptic wasteland. I don't know. I'm very excited for number 6, even though I'm gonna guess that's gonna come out in like 3 years. I'm probably lowballing it. All right, now something that the inner child in me just loves so much. Pokemon Go will be available this July, along with the Pokemon Go Plus device. If you've seen it, it's like a little wristwatch, but it's a Pokeball, where with a little Pokeball. I think there's also something for like a belt loop. Will also be ready in July for $35. Nintendo has put forth that they want to have the game done before the device is released. So, and they were planning on having this release. The reason there's no specific release is because this is all kind of assumed, because their goal is to have the device done by the end of July. So that would mean that the actual game should be done sometime in July, if not a little sooner. Very excited for this game. Basically, more kind of like details and also like how this device works. Basically, while you're walking around, the device will fly. The little thing will flash green when there's a Pokemon around you. Basically, this means so you don't have to keep checking your phone and checking it and checking it and checking it to see if there's Pokemon around. But it will also allow you to basically throw a Pokeball, so you don't have to pull your phone out and get out the app. You can actually just toss the Pokeball. From the wristwatch, it will show a rainbow color if the it'll flash like a rainbow thing if the Pokemon is caught, and red if the capture is a failure. Article by Seth G. Macy of IGN. I'm very excited for Pokemon Go. I cannot wait to play it. I mean, I just see that being so much fun at college, especially with a lot of my generation being in college right now, seeing that we grew up on Pokemon. I cannot wait for that. I'm serious, like, I will probably be sitting in the back of a class one day, and there's going to be some sort of Pokemon, like, right out the window, and I'm just like, just playing it. I cannot wait for that game. Okay, I finally got, I know the Recore release date was shown during the Microsoft press conference, except just the camera angle on the screen, I couldn't get a clean look at it. But Recore will be available September 13th of this year. Article by Alex Osborne of IGN. Now, if you want to pre-order, Recore, you can get a free download code for Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I'm not 100% sure if that deal only applies to the digital, or if it also applies to retail. If I get that distinction, I will talk about that upon having that distinction. And this is something else that I found really interesting. And I saw this on the Recore facts page. This is really interesting. The price right now is set at $39.99 US. And note when I say all prices on this show, I'm speaking in U.S. currency. $39.99 or $179.99 for the limited collector's edition. That's a giant gap. But no, the first price, $39.99. That's about $20 less than a typical game release. I don't know. I mean, this kind of makes me think, is Recore not as big as I thought it was going to be? Or like what? Because I thought this game was pretty huge. I don't know. But anything that doesn't make me have to spend a full $60, I'm good with that. I'm good with spending $40. I'm not complaining. I'm curious as to why. Article by Joe Screbbles of IGN. I guess the only little bit of tech news that I have in this in this video, the Xbox One S will apparently be more powerful than the Xbox One. I'm not sure if that kind of came when this kind of came out, because I don't think it happened in the press conference. Which I guess this is a good thing that again, you're not just, there's a reason to upgrade to the Xbox One S. Because developers are already taking advantage of this upgraded power and games will presumably run better on the Xbox One S as opposed to the Xbox One. I don't know how I feel about that, seeing for the fact that I'm not going to get a One S, just because, well, I don't know. It depends. When I get more details on the Scorpio, then I'll make my decision. Because when I, trade up, I'm going to sell my Xbox One, because I'm not going to keep an Xbox One and then get an Xbox One S, because that's, to me, that's dumb. It's just like when the PS4 Neo comes out, I'm going to sell my PS4, because, again, why keep two? That's just dumb to me. And the reason I probably won't do it won't go to an Xbox One S is just because, to me, I sit here and go, well, but, so the Xbox One S is here, and the Scorpio is probably early to mid next year, so I don't know. I just think it's a waste of money to go to the S, unless the Scorpio comes out much later than I think. Then I probably will upgrade to the Xbox One S. But yeah, I will not be switching probably before next year. So I'll probably be playing on my original Xbox One. That was meant to be kind of a suggestion to people, yet it kind of came out as just those are my plans. But basically, that's my reasoning for why to keep an eye out on the Scorpio before you jump up and buy the Xbox One S. Also, the Xbox One S will not support the Kinect straight out of the box. And this is basically in the reduction of size, they removed the port in the back, the dedicated Kinect port in the back of your Xbox One. They basically removed that, so now an adapter will be necessary for the Kinect to run with your Xbox One S. Article by Alex Osborne of IGN. The game Abzu will release August 2nd of this year. This game is by 505 Games and Giant Squid, and will be a third-person action game / exploration game. Or start quote unquote. And apparently you will be playing as a diver, and so it's going to be underwater. Article by Matt Porter of IGN. I don't really know what to say about this, because I know absolutely nothing about this game. I have not heard about this game. Apparently it has a cute art style. People are fairly impressed with how the swimming and the water physics are, so I'd keep an eye out for it. August 2nd. Like I said, that's the game Abzu, A-B-Z-U. It's a very odd name. Now the final game that I'll be talking about in this video, a game that a lot of people are very excited about, and I have no interest in whatsoever, even less than Final Fantasy 15, and I am talking about The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. This is now the official title of the upcoming Wii U and NX game, or NX Zelda game. If you're wondering why I have no interest, it's because I never liked Zelda. Let the hate mail flow. I don't know. I mean, it's nothing against people who like Zelda, and nothing against Zelda itself. It's just, it's not a game for me. Although I do like the idea that they're really opening it up to more of a full-on open-world action-adventure game, as opposed to what it used to be. Which, again, I would still say it was kind of open-world, but not really. I don't know. But no, I think this series really would work as a big open world action adventure. Let's see here. All the stuff that I'm going to be talking about comes from articles by Andrew Goldfarb of IGN. The series producer Eiji Aonuma, I believe is how it's pronounced, says that the new Zelda game will be, and I quote, the same experience, end quote, on the NX as the Wii U. So I'm assuming it's going to either run the same. I'm not sure if that means graphically, but it means the content. I believe it means the content will be the same. Will be exactly the same. And again, I'm not necessarily sure if that also means graphically. I'd assume graphically, probably, because, I mean, it's not going to be a photorealistic Zelda game, which I would actually like. But no, again, it has this really cute art style. Again, I can't describe it. I would suggest that you go check out the launch trailer. It looks really pretty. And for anybody who was at E3 or saw the demo of Breath of the Wild at E3, apparently the actual game will be 12 times the size of Twilight Princess. I'm not 100% sure what Twilight Princess's map was, but I'm assuming if they're saying it's 12 times that, it's going to be really big. And apparently the demo that was shown was only about 1% of the total experience, the total area. That's amazing. Again, I'm very excited for Zelda fans who obviously are very excited. Also, let me think here. In the same article that I was talking about the same experience for the NX and the Wii U, apparently the game will support the Pro controller and not require the gamepad. I'm not 100% sure what that is because, again, I don't play Nintendo. I don't play the Wii. So if that means something to you, great. If I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what that means. I'm not, you know what I mean. I don't know what that means. So like I said, that's the last little bit that I have for you in this video. Check back, like I said, later today. I will have another one up covering even more E3 news. Sorry, I'm getting the hiccups. Covering even more E3 news. Again, you can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, my website down in the description below. Hit me up in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that. Like I said at the beginning of the video. Anything else? I think that's about it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Like I said, you want more, tune in later today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm AJ Gels. This is the Untitled Gaming Channel. I'm out.